For example, we can sell NFT, as a tickets for event. Yeah, so the whole idea for tiktag is like, by itself, it has an API. If company purchase the scanner, we ship them with a API, and the standard pricing tier for tiktag is like $99 per year per device, and then that's a standard pricing, right? So we start talking about the ideation for how to do tiktag, right? So I think tiktag as a solution, we can simply say it's a Telegram mini app for selling tickets for training sessions, because this is highly relevant to all the activity that we're going to do, right? Not just in China but also in Malaysia, right? So one way to look at how are we going to structure the thing is like, let's build a AI chatbot to manage as the administrative backend for the as the Telegram mini app. So with that we can already manage this little program, right, to sell for example we can sell NFT as a tickets for event. Yeah, so the whole idea for tiktag is like, by itself, it has an API. If company purchase the scanner, we ship them with a API, and the standard pricing tier for tiktag is like $99 per year per device, and then that's a standard pricing, right? But we also build a solution for ourselves, at least for the internal users, for training, for event, for training session, because we can see that everything, all the business activity are around the kind of different kind of a training session or meetup session, right? So we should be able to run a Telegram mini app to using together with these for the in-person event to authenticate their membership, right? So the whole solution would be seamlessly integrate the business that we are trying to do with, in China, also especially in Malaysia or Singapore, because I need to update you guys with not just the Breakpoint event that I'm hosting for the GBATA in KL, but also there are a big event, a big NGO that I'm trying to co-found with another local partner called John. But NGO that I'm working with, John is like he. Another friend from US, from the Silicon Valley, he's called William. He's a Chinese American. So William, he said, I have my connection in the Silicon Valley with AI company, also with a capital VC fund from Silicon Valley, right? So William, he has a strong interest to look for, co-founder, looking for investment, looking for especially looking for talents in the Asian area, not just China but Asian. So William, John, and I, we talk about the idea of ABC, AI Blockchain Central. So we give this NGO a name, which is called ABC. So John is going to raise fund for ABC as a NGO. So he raised fund to run events and meetups. So again, the ABC is also something that we can contribute our topic as well. So as a team, Tiktag team. So but ABC is mostly for the happening in Singapore. So in KL in Malaysia we have Breakpoints. So at our hands we already have two track of events. There are two track of events that we can keep show up. Right, you show up, either virtually or in person. So these are the two tracks.
Another thing, like you just start to talking about it, and I immediately start to think like, but what if to apply NFT with the AI models? For example, if we think like about some small models which is doing on one particular thing, and NFT is concentrating on like ownership rights. So if you like pre-train some model which is doing unique thing, let's say in your own style, like which is representing, let's say, your style of typing or your style of speaking, why to not apply NFT to it for monetize the right of using the model in terms of the blockchain?
Another popular way to attack this market is like, in the token 2049, the big topic on crypto is called memecoin. 咪咪币是吧？就中文很多人把它叫咪咪币嘛，就 meme coin. So meme coin is a thing. So meme coin is not something in the air, right? It's not scamming. Meme coin is exactly the marketing sector for Web3. So when we talk about meme coin and in terms of the marketing, the strategy for TikTok, I would say it's a solution for meme coin. So basically, what we are trying to sell the tickets to, you are right. You say NFT, right? But we can also issue meme coin on Tone Network. So if we build TikTok as a like a meme coin startup, it's also super interesting, right? So we had a device for event gatekeeping for event, right? But when we talk about using crypto and meme coin as a gatekeeping, like a gatekeeping mechanism to saying that I'm a member of this meme coin or whatever community, then I would say this is also a pretty interesting area that we can build a meme coin startup. So the meme. I would say because the device is already ready, we already prototype everything by 2019, right? So we already have the whole thing, to kickstart. But what is missing is the API layer for the device. You had for example, we set up a thin layer on the cloud. We even make it open source, right? It's part of we also use the NAT protocol as well.
Yeah, it's really a good match for this kind of behavior because it's really the NAT protocol by itself is a really good match for this. It's one of their climate use case, like for possibility to create a leaf node with an embedding NAT server.
Yeah, exactly.
So because we can embed NAT server internally, which will aggregate the messages, let's say when it's working offline, and when it will have the possibility to connect to access to the internet, like for syncing, it's automatically would be able to synchronize the messages. And in this case, like it's really a good match for the making like a POC solutions with those
we can deploy, we can ship the the API layer of a TikTok, because some company they also they don't want the whole solution. If they say I just want to scan them, that's fine. We ship you the layer. It's a microservice that it's a leaf node. It's a leaf node, right? So our platform is we're running a NAT cluster for the TikTok.
Inside of the scanner, it can be run inside of the scanner because at the same time we can think like it supports multiple languages. First of all, like I think even Rust is also supported for that
device, right?
No. I mean like if we're speaking about the scanner, is probably Android-based system, so it's similar to the phone internally.
Okay.
So what it means, we also would be able to precompile our, let's say, the firmware, which will contain embedded NAT server in it, and that's it. Like, if the people want to get it, just pay for the device. We can provide, we can give them the device, and after that, they be able to synchronize with our API. And the rest of it will be depends for how do we want to distribute. One of it is like we can open the access point in a way as they want. And another way we also can keep the channel for synchronization with the mine server. So they be able to, let's say, we can bind it to one switch, like offline or online mode, and that's it. And the simplicity of it can be done very simple. It's how to say, keep in mind, like, why I'm so excited speaking about the NAT server is not because like I so like to use it. I more prefer to use the different technologies based on their needs. I'm not a fan like of, let's say, object-oriented versus functional programming. It's basically, I like both of them, just depends on at which time I use what. That's kind of thing. About the NATs, it's in some cases excitement of its capabilities, because for myself and my experience, it solved a lot of issues which I had before, which I was needed to create different play around with a lot of code. But when I start to use it, it's simplify the process. I just up and running and it's okay. It's working.
Guys, let me also add a little bit more like a business business model for TikTok, right? Even when we talk about the whole solution of TikTok, when we say we use it to sell tickets, right? The way to sell ticket can be very creative. If you have you ever heard of the website called Pump.fun? Pump.fun. So for your information, Palm.Doc Fund is like one click to issue a meme coin. You just fill out a form and then you can issue your coin. But the way they sell the coin is like they use a bounding curve, like a mathematical model to sell the coins. So the early you come, you are the early buyer of the coin, the cheaper the price. So as more buyer coming on board to buy the coin, the prices will automatically go up. So it's a bounding curve, mechanism to sell tickets. So if you say I issue, for example, like 100 for this meme coin, I only issue 100 coins. So maybe the first 10 or 50, buyer of the ticket or the meme coin, they pay less. So the later you come, the higher the prices. So this is a way to sell tickets for event as well. We can figure out a mathematical model to sell tickets like this. For example, in this event, we can we have the capacity maximum 100 people, 100 tickets, but the first ticket are really cheap. But the first 10 tickets are cheap, right? But the next 10 tickets are higher, and the next 10 tickets are higher, the price. So that's a bounding curve mechanism to sell stuff. So we can implement something like a Palm.Doc Fund. You can give it a letter initial， 就给一个符号啊，这个活动这个门票有一个特殊的符号，对吧？ And then you can just one click to issue a token. And then you sell tickets.
Here came the question about the tickets or whatsoever, because another thing is mindset. Like when you're buying the ticket and you immediately having the mindset about the more expensive ticket I buy, then better service I will receive. And it's also, I think, won't be applicable to the old type of the tickets, which we can sell with that strategy, let's say.
Like fixed price,
it will
right?
be no. If we're speaking about like a transportation tickets,
right,
then this service won't be applied, because in a transportation, then more you pay, then it means like the higher class of the seat you get. And then less you pay, it only can be like, oh, I have two offering the first class ticket, let's say, and who will first buy that will get the cheaper price or whatever. Okay. This is one thing. Another thing, like if we speaking about the regular taxi or whatever, for the more expensive, like this gradual increase, people say like, oh, this is weird, I don't want it to.
No,
but if we're speaking about the events, that's more applicable to the event. Like,
exactly.
Like terms of early bird, how we currently use. But in that term, like for gradually increasing, so it won't increase for the fixed price, but depends, like the more late you get, then stuff. That thing is exactly the applying scenario which I was thinking about.
I think that makes perfect sense.
For this thing, but if you have any other ideas about like any other appliance scenarios, maybe you can announce it now, because I just don't see it.
So if we agree with the idea, and then I'll go to synchronize step with Ryan, it's a ticket sales for sure, but it's a ticket sales that we put on the Telegram mini app. So that people can mint their token, and like a meme coin, or we can even say it's not for sale, it's just for like a giveaway. That's okay, right? Because we can say you can on the tiktag mini app you can define something to for your event, right? But by itself is a really interesting event, like a marketing, like a platform, right?
Two other appliances which I also can think about. Let's say one is appliance like live events, like or like cinema tickets or whatever, because there's no big difference between the places, like if compared to another appliance. It can be, let's say, the platform like Boosty, like when you can donate some money to like a blogger, streamer, or whatever. And the first appliance also can be for online streams. For example, at the moment, all streams which you can watch online, it's like for free, and you can only pay it as you want to donate, to sponsor someone.
Right.
But I haven't seen much events which you kind of prepay for watching it, or prepay for as an entrance point. Only maybe some sport translation. Actually, for this like a sport video translation, it also can be. For example, if there is some racing happen or whatever, you kind of prepay, and then early you buy the ticket for watching the translation, then the cheaper you get, which is also can make like people agitage like for fighting for the ticket.
That's one way to apply this mechanism.
But in this case, we also will need to think about the ticket buying strategy. For example, if the people applying for the same time, like multiple people, how do we will apply the strategy of
the bounding curve?
The bounding for this. Do we allow us to apply the similar price to multiple people at the same time for the same event, or the price every time supposed to be a little bit incremented? But in this case, we will get the issue about wrong expectation and wrong of the people. For example, if you bid to one price, but you actually will receive, you need to pay another one, then it can be like, oh, I kind of not a good. But if it's also will be in a way like with the gamification, the same way how the WeChat Red Pockets can be like random draw. In this case, before you pay, you see like, oh, you check it out. Do you want it or you want to cancel? If you cancel, you will need to pay more. So it also can be like.
I think the one innovation that I can already see, right? If we say. Because the whole administrator experiences will be driven by chatbot, and there is AI behind the whole thing, right? So once we put an AI behind the administrator, right, for selling the tickets, I think we can do a lot of these interesting like algorithm. We can be really flexible, right?
Not for everything is making sense to integrate AI. This stuff like it's simpler and cheaper will be implemented with the regular arithmetic
databases. Like a PostgreSQL, right? All this
the regular
chatbot.
No. The vector machines, which is used for buying airplane tickets stuff.
Okay.
The similar method can be used, and it will be cheaper to implement than to apply the chatbot, which you will need to validate 10 times before it will give the strict result.
Okay.
The chatbot, it's something where you interact with the people directly, but the operation of one-click buying, it's just you bidding, and after that you apply through the algorithm like multiple people, and you generate.
So you think if we build mini app for the TikTok or like a Telegram mini app, right? There is no need for any AI behind it.
If we're speaking about purchasing tickets,
not necessary.
No, for this one it's not necessary.
Okay.
If we concentrate on also provide some live communication, like activation possibility of buying ticket, in this case the AI can be integrated.
Okay.
But it also can be done with the simple bot as well.
对，因为这里面其实我们讨论的是一种叫售票的机制，这种售票机制其实是适合很多这种叫就是有一个话题，然后呢，这个东西有一定稀缺性，我们要人为制造稀缺性。
但是这个话题最早的是啥呢 ？tiktag 我们最早定的一个叫稀缺性是啥呢？它支持所有主流数字币。
对，
你忘了吗？就是这是一个很简单的一个入口，但是呢，可以让大家的这数字货币有一个更简单的一个使用方式。
明白。
像之前我数字钱包要转来转去，转成又
很麻烦，对
，USDT 什么东西。
对。
不过我们这只是一个样品，就证明我们现在这个平台可以非常平滑的通过索拉纳也好，怎么地也好，可以自动把你的这个数字货币转换过来，甚至于是啥呢？就是最牛逼的是啥？能够嫁接到当地的银行，可以直接转成的货币，这是现在大家都在拼命在搞的。因为
是吧？
不是，因为所有的这个叫数字货币交易平台，它只是数字货币之间，你没办法跟法币。
明白了。
如果你能够通过售票跟法币结合起来，这是一个非常大的出口。
明白了。
But here can be another interesting thing about where here can be another interesting thing.
但是他卖的东西其实就是说，
我现在能卖门票。
对，
那么以后我就可以在 7-Eleven 里头我去买饮料。
是，
这是我们要做的事情。就是以后我们通过这个硬件把我们的交易平台从银行那个系统给转过来了，抢过来了。
明白了。我起步的时候我就先搞这么细分的，没有人看得上的领域，先跟你玩。然后比如说我可能买票就真的是用我本地货币买了以后呢，我其实除了正常就是传统门票，其实大家买了就扔了，对吧？但是呢，他买了我们这个体系买了以后，它还是一个藏品，你还可以在钱包看得到它。
就等于说你的行为又变成另外一种。 这个叫什么 NFT 了。
没错没错没错。
假设你一口气儿参加了我们10个，到时候我们 NFT
哎对，
给你返回来。
哦，对我，明白了，这个好玩，对。
For example,
I love his idea.
Yeah, because we were speaking basically the same thing, just stuff. If you still wanted to integrate the AI into that behavior, then only I can see one way. It's preparation material. For example, organize the description of the event, or organize the the minimum bidding price for the event based on the description.
Right?
Yeah.
The NFT ticket, yeah.
Based on a description and based also on a previous history, analyzing like how people buying for one or another event.
Okay.
Stuff. Plus,
maybe we just standardize on one coin, which is something we issue, right? Like tiktag coin.
I think, and to use the AI only for like stuff to where it's better matching, like let's say to summarize text or to analyze existing data. But this one is a dynamic thing, and to put computation of the AI model for each person, like when they're bidding, and if you have, let's say, 1,000 or 10,000 people, well, most of the time for the event is like about 1,000 people maximum is applying. So in this case, for everyone to run a LM model it will be too expensive, not only from the implementation level, but also from the service providing cost. And in this case, it's like does make sense. The time to implementation and the cost and overall overhead. And any only benefit in this particular case, what we'll get, it's trendy word AI. We powered by AI stuff. So let's just
got you.
Yeah.
AI 得到我们这个数据足够大的时候，明白没有？数据足够大的时候，我们可以用。所以你如果你这个实体 tiktag 实体有点像肯尼亚的那个电话卡，
没错，
对吧？他们没有银行系统，直接用电话卡充值，然后就可以完成了这个类似于准数字货币的完成。那我们这个都其实是快速把一些高频交易就变成大家习惯了，那慢慢的习惯，你交易的什么东西谁我们控制了，到最后是。
It's the same thing. You remember, like before, joke was to make a toilet with integration for the social media, so you can post your shit whatever time you want. But in our case, it's like the same story, like to make the toilet with the AI integration, so it can decide for you when you need to do your stuff.
No, we don't exactly need that.
Well, yeah, exactly. So that's why it's, for this particular case, better to use something simple.
Yeah. I think we already concluded, right? So we, for the tiktag, ideation, I would say we make it like an event marketing solution, but that event marketing is more
like AI for this case. It can be used for like organizing the event, let's say.
Yeah.
If you provide the description, when it will be or whatsoever, and to use just a regular minimalistic LLM for prepare the description about it.
Yeah.
That for that thing, it's making sense. For the rest, like, why do you need for live streaming for that type of services?
Got it. So I think in terms of the VC interest, right? If we structure the whole tokenomic like this. It would be super interesting also maybe to the the Telegram networks fund, right? The VCs.
Another thing about it, it also can be claimed as donor be friendly in terms of if we also thinking about to making a rating system about donor be like appliance for renewable energy, the smart usage of the AI technologies or whatsoever, which will reminds the smaller energy use footprint. And
that's a future like an extension.
But
for
this stuff, because for all of these sub brands, at the moment, like you're a stakeholder of it, so you can combine them out. It's not necessary to them to live separately. If those brands coexist at the same time, why to not make one brand to promote another brand?
Right.
In this case, and if they are promoting like each other, then okay. They can start to appear. When you go to market one product, you can put something, like a label how to say, applying to DonorB standard or something like this. And after that, it's make like people to interest, like, oh, what is DonorB? What is it? Then we'll start to interest and try to find out what does it means.
Okay.
Because for example, like a lot of awarding campaigns, which you can find, like a red dot campaign or whatsoever. For a lot of people, it doesn't make sense till they see it on a product. They see like red dot label winning, and you're like, what the heck is this? And after that, you like go to the website and see like, oh, that's they participating in some exhibition or whatsoever. In our case, we also can use the similar strategy for promoting.
Yeah. So I think that's the conclusion, right? So we will, I will try to make a summary of our discussion for the brainstorming.